this issue shows you again that you can get caught between two good motivations. I think a lot of this section comes from the motivation that says we want to bust down those councillor fiefdoms. But on the other hand, when you move to bigger territory, you make it much more difficult for people trying to make a breakthrough to have the resources to be able to build their profile and get elected. I think that this idea that I'm promoting, this notion of a council committee on democratic reform to build momentum towards reform for 2014 is exactly necessary to try and grapple with some of this stuff. Not in favor of the at-large council. Very, very comfortable with the notion of instant runoff voting, and interested to know how that can cause excitement and motivation in an election campaign. The hybrid model, I think, leads to larger wards, which I'm not sure is going to have the effect that we're looking for, trying to open opportunities for diverse communities to take hold. And I love the notion in some form or other of borough councils. It seems to me that too little is allowed to be resolved at the local level, and too much of the stuff that happens on the floor of the main city council ought to be resolved in local communities. So I'd be very, very keen to find ways to make this notion of borough councils more successful. Thank you. I think that I really need to reinforce the point, which is we can hardly afford, with all of the priorities that the city has, this circumstance where you have a replay, a constant replay of what happens at community council. It's incredibly inefficient, and I think we have to find ways to say, these are the things that should be decided on a local basis, and let that, whether it's the community council as we know it now, or some borough council that evolves, we really need to find a way to make those more real. And I think one of the things that we really need to do in our city is let the citizens back in. I talk as an example about the extreme frustration that citizens experience trying to be involved in helping to bring a sense of management, bringing their interest to their local parks. We've got a lot of circumstances where the citizen interest is being overturned, I think, in favor sometimes of the workers' interest. And I really think that this is part of the nature of the reform that we need to bring, allowing all of those who are interested in their communities to give everything that they can to make them as good as they can possibly be. Thank you.